That's probably the main thing in here, whether or not Rosado can keep him, Stevens I'm talking about, away with the reach. And here is Curtis Stevens. They call him Showtime. He fights out of Brooklyn. Stevens says this is really a crossroads fight for him. You see him, he worked with Sugar Shane for this fight, and he says he's reinvented himself as a fighter.
I'm not sure you can reinvent yourself at this advanced age. I'm not sure he had to either. He's a good fighter, man.
What do you think, Robert? Can you reinvent yourself?
I think so. You know, whoever wins this fight, you know, especially, you know, Curtis, he needs this win to come back and come back strong and maybe get another shot at a bigger name. He's fought a lot of great fighters, but he does need this win.
And of course, the champion, Gabriel Rosado, out of Philadelphia. He won the belt when he took out Brian Vera and BKB won. And he says he's going to do the same thing to Curtis Stevens, and watch as Rosado just walked right in front of Stevens, and you see that look Curtis Stevens just gave him.
Gabriel Rosado has fought some of the best fighters in the world, some of the the best middleweights in the world right now at this moment. But I still believe that his last fight was probably one of his best performances, and it was here. Well, not his last fight, his last win here in BKB. He looks sensational the way he performed, and I think BKB is for him, it's fit for him.
Toward what Soto Carras says, he had great movement that fight.
All the talking is over. It's time for the main event. Both men are in the pit. The official introduction. Here's Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Mandalay Bay Hotel Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, this is the main event of the evening. 7 rounds of fighting for the BKB Middleweight Championship. And it's all brought to you by BKB Championship Fighting and sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Francisco Aguilar, Executive Director Bob Bennett. The 3 judges assigned to ringside, should this fight go the distance: Robert Hoyle, Dave Moretti, and Ricardo Ocasio. And inside the BKB circle, in charge of the action at the bell, your referee, Russell Mora. And now the officials are ready, the fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for all the fans in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, wearing silver, official weight 158 1/2 pounds. From Brooklyn, New York, New York, he is the challenger, Curtis Showtime Stevens. And across the BKB circle, wearing black, officially weighing in at 159 1/2 pounds. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the reigning and defending BKB middleweight champion, King Gabriel Rosado.
Well, Curtis Stevens admits this is a crossroads fight for him, but he says he's reinvented himself. He says Gabe Rosado will leave the pit, quote, on a stretcher. Gabe Rosado says he wants to be the face of BKB. Tonight, he says he's going to, quote, knock Curtis Stevens' head off. Here we go. Our main event. It's scheduled for 7. Stevens in the silver trunks, Rosado in the black. Here's a jab by Stevens. Quick 1-2 by Rosado. A minute now gone here in round one. There's a short uppercut by Stevens.
Rosado's already doing what he should be doing, you know, waiting, being patient. He doesn't need to rush it. He's got 7 rounds of boxing, so he's being very, very patient. He's pretty much studying his opponent, which I think is, you know, right to do in the first couple of rounds.
Showing what I might call pit generalship.
Yes.
Here's a right to the body by Rosado.
I think consistent with what we've seen all night, Rosado needs to establish a safe distance. He doesn't want to fight close. He wants to maintain his length.
And if he does that all night, you know, he could easily win a decision. Stevens is not really putting the pressure that I was expecting. You know, I don't know if Stevens is doing the same thing and trying to study his opponent, but that's not the way he normally fights.
The viewer discretion is advised.
Sometimes he's got to work on this inside, work side to side. Can't stand at his distance because that's where he's got power.
Well, Curtis Stevens said his goal for this fight, not think so much. There's a left hook by Stevens.
Left hook on top of the head that seemed like bothered Rosado a little.
And Stevens trying to jump right on Rosado. Now Rosado gets the distance and holds him off. Stevens said his goal, not think so much, just let my hands fly in this fight. He also worked on cutting the ring off on Rosado.
It's more difficult to cut off the pit, you think.
You just said it's more difficult and it's almost impossible. I think it's here in the pit is more of where you keep your left foot in front. You know, if your left foot to your left or to your right of of your opponent. That's what counts the most right here.
Also, a pivot can change the angle of everything.
Here's double left hook by Stevens. Now Stevens seems like feeling a little more comfortable.
What should Rosado be looking for, Robert?
Look, Rosado right now, he should try to keep the fight at his distance. But, with Stevens coming in, with that confidence that Stevens bringing, it's going to be very difficult for Rosado. Rosado's going to have a hard time beating Stevens. He has to just step to the sides, pivot to the sides. But I don't know if he could do it for 7 full rounds. It's going to be very difficult. He's getting caught with some good body shots.
Yeah, body shots by Stevens. And that's the round. Better round for Curtis Stevens. Here's the left hook we talked about earlier, Robert.
And look at Rosado's eyes, like wide open, like really stunned him, surprised him.
I like the advice that Rosado's corner gave him. Jab to the body, holds him off, preserves the distance.
That is the right instruction. But I kind of also heard that, you know, one more round and then you start putting the pressure. So I don't know if putting the pressure is going to be a mistake on their side. That's what he should be doing all night, like that. Jab, step back, jab again. Jab, step to the side, left hook. Jab, step to the right, right hook. You know what I mean?
This is our main event.
Like that, perfect.
Gabriel Rosado putting his middleweight belt, BKB belt, on the line against Curtis Stevens.
Sometimes Stevens does muffle his punches.
Good exchange as both men threw hooks. We're at the Mandalay Bay, the resort and casino here in Las Vegas. Left hook,
Good
Stevens.
left hook by Stevens.
Uppercut by Stevens. And now the jab by Rosado. Another short left hook.
What Rosado did to Vera in his last fight here in the pit, it was very impressive. Right here with Curtis in front of him, it doesn't seem like he's able to do the same thing. You know, he's just got a more stronger guy in front of him, and it looks like it's a lot harder for him to do this. He's trying, and you know, he's actually doing a great job when he gets that distance. But once Stevenson in the inside, that's where he gives Rosado trouble.
I don't think he's fighting a bad fight at all, and I don't think that Stevens has really hurt him yet. Rosado's left eye. We're almost halfway through the fight.
I got a feeling we're waiting for an explosion somewhere. Sugar Shane, you can see he's telling Curtis to get on that inside.
I think we're about to see it because both cornermen gave good instructions, so we should start seeing some action, some better action at least.
This is round 4.
When Rosado keeps him on the end of the jab, he's in control of the fight.
Here's a body shot by Stevens. Short right by Rosado.
Those are nice short right hands that Rosado threw and landed. He should do it more often because the more he does it, the less time it gives Stephen Curtis to step inside and land those powerful punches that he's looking for. See, they don't have to be too hard. Just stay busy.
Another left to the body.
A good body shot.
Left to the body by Stevens. Gabe is trying to push him. Yeah.
It was more like a push.
Gabe won the exchange, though.
"20 seconds left here in round 4. That right hand hit the guard of Stevens.
Yeah, right there is where Rosado needs to just keep throwing straight punches, 1-2, 1-2s, 1-2, 3s. Try to keep him at that distance.
Stevens keeps those hands down like he's going to sucker him. I don't think Rosado's going for it.
Get another look at some of the action from round 4. And Curtis Stevens working that body of Rosado. Using our hit chip technology. Look at that low right there on the liver. 26 miles per hour, force of 486. Very fast punch. And that will be qualified as a very hard punch under that hit chip technology. All of that hit chip technology developed on Strike Tech sensor. Here's the double jab again by Rosado. He starts off round 5. Again, $30,000 bonus up for grab on top of their purse if one of these guys knocks the other one out. Here's a stiff jab by Stevens.
Does Rosado know about that $30,000?
They both know about it. In fact, Rosado said he didn't like the way that Stevens was talking. He actually called his lawyer and wanted a contract drawn up for $50,000 on top of the purse money. And he said, no, you can't do that.
It wasn't legally feasible. I don't know about the jurisprudence of it, but
there's a
combination nice flurry
by Rosado.
there.
There's another low blow.
It's a 7-round fight. A point, there's no margin for error.
He can't afford a point deduction.
Stevens now coming right after Rosado, trying to put the pressure on here in this 5th round. 30 seconds left. Rosado catches him with a jab coming in.
Nice
left hook by Rosado. Here comes Stevens now, working on the inside. There's a left hook. He dropped Rosado with the left hook.
It was one of those flash knockdowns, but he got hit good with that punch.
That was some pounds of force, baby.
Wow.
And that's the round.
Good short left hook. And it was all Rosado in that round.
It was Rosado's round.
Yes,
it was Rosado's round.
Take another look at the knockdown. That left hook coming right there.
Wow, it was a beautiful short left hook.
And let's look at it on our hip chip technology here. Wow, 21 miles per hour and at 480 pounds of force.
Wow.
That'll drop you.
Especially when it's placed perfectly like that.
Oh, it's going to get good now. It's our main event. And Stevens comes right after Rosado. Another left hook by Stevens. Body work now by Stevens.
It's amazing to think that every fight Stevens goes into, he's giving away height and reach.
He said
a substantial amount.
He said, I've fought bigger guys my entire career.
That's Brownsville's own right there.
Under a minute here in round 6. Rosado's BKB middleweight belt on the line.
Stevens keeps looking for that left hook because he throws it every time Rosado throws 1 or 2 punches. He throws it. There it goes again.
Yeah. Here's a right hook.
That thudding right is an effective punch.
He's throwing punches with bad intentions.
Both guys pounding each other's body.
He listened to Shane. He effectively sat down on his body punches. Instead of pitter-pattering, throwing them fast, delivered each one.
Final 10 seconds of round 6. Let's see who can win it on a flurry. It's Rosado coming with the flurry here.
Whoa, Rosado staggered him. Little nasty stare at the end.
Championship.
Well, all the talking all week. One guy said the other one's going to walk out on a stretcher. The other one said he's going to take his head off. It's our main event. It's the last round. Rosado's the champion. Stevens making his BKB debut. Rosado's been down once. He went down in the 5th. Combination of body work by Stevens.
Rosado has to fight this last round very smart because he can't afford to get dropped one more time. And Stevens is going for the kill because he knows he might need a knockout to win this fight.
By the same token, he can't afford to coast. He's got to listen.
He can't. He needs the round. He can't lose the round either. I see some blood out of Rosado's nose. Not a cut, right? No cut from Rosado? There's some blood in his face, but I think it's from the nose.
We got a minute to go. Someone's got to get loose here.
Yeah, and Rosado needs to stay busy. Throw more combinations.
Here's another left hand by Stevens.
Nice right uppercut by Stevens. Did you see how comfortable he threw that right uppercut? It was just like Rosado came right straight into the right uppercut.
Rosado, 2-punch combination. Left hook by Stevens. We got 30 seconds left in this middleweight title fight.
It's gonna be a hard one to score, fellas.
It is. It is.
Couple of hooks by Stevens. Right hand Rosado.
Rosado's throwing some good shots this round. I don't like that celebrating. Do not like that celebrating. That is premature celebration.
Oh, a left hook by Stevens right at the bell. And I like the sportsmanship afterwards, especially after everything they've been through this week. This one is going to be tight.
It's going to be a tight one. It's going to be very tight.
You see Gabriel Rosado.
I'm trying to score it, and it's very close.
How do you have it scored?
I have Rosado ahead by 1 round also, but you know, I don't know. It's a hard one to call. That knockdown made a difference too. That's 1 point difference. Could make the difference.
That knockdown in the 5th round could be the difference.
Yes, it can.
Both these guys talked about how much they needed this fight. Gabriel Rosado says he wants to be the face of BKB and lure other big-name fighters into the pit. Curtis Stevens says, hey, he's down for whatever. Here's the left hook that dropped Rosado.
Yeah, it was a beautiful short left hook, you know, right, perfectly timed by Curtis Stevens.
Stevens is hoping this would not only bring him the belt, but he also wants a big fight on one of the premium cable network, whether it's Showtime or HBO.
And he's been there before, so you know this win could really get him there.
A good thing for Gabriel Rosado, no issues with the eye.
Nothing,
which
no
has
issues.
been his Achilles heel, and especially his last 3 fights. None whatsoever in this fight, which is a great sign for him.
It is. You know, he looks healthy. He looks good. His eyes are perfect.
Let's find out who won the main event. The judge's official decision is in. Here's Michael Buffer.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 7 BKB championship rounds, we go to the scorecards here at the Mandalay Bay of Las Vegas. Robert Hoyle scores at 69-63. He has it for Stevens.
Oh, wow.
Dave Moretti and Ricardo Ocasio both have it 66-66 by majority rule. It is a draw. The champion keeps his title. The fight is a draw. A round of applause for both fighters here at the Mandalay Bay and this great BKB championship contest.
So this one ends in a draw. And listen, you said on your unofficial scorecard you had it really close.
Very close.
So you could see.
Yeah, I don't blame the draw. It could be. It was a good call by the judges. You know, my scorecard had Rosado winning by 1 round, but still, it was very close. Those rounds could have gone either way. I don't agree with the first judge that gave Curtis the whole fight.
69-63.
Yeah, that was pretty much almost every round.
Well, let's go into the pit. Gabriel Rosado's with Mark.
Gabe, congratulations, I guess, on keeping your belt. Was it the decision you expected?
Absolutely not. I thought I boxed a shutout. You know, Stevens is, you know, he has power. So I thought that I did the right thing. I felt like I jabbed. He clipped me one time, but I was actually winning that round that he got me. But other than that, I got up, and I actually won the next round, backing him up, and I even hurt him. So, you know, I don't know.
How would you like to see this resolve itself?
You know, I don't know, man. You know, I felt like I came off a tough fight in my last one. You know, caught a bad eye injury. You know, but I came back. I felt like I had something to prove. And, you know, I felt like I boxed my way to a win. You know, I'm the champion. You know, you have to take it from the champion. I felt like he didn't do that.
I think you both fought well. Here's the question. You want to do it again with Curtis Stevens and BKB?
We could run it back. We could run it back, absolutely. It's a draw. So, you know, I feel that anybody that knows boxing knows I won the fight. But we could run it back.
Thank you, Gabe. Brian, back to you.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. As you heard, Gabriel Rosado says, hey, if he wants a rematch, he's up for it. Both of these guys talked about really wanting a win. Stevens, boy, he certainly landed some big punches. And when we go to that hit chip technology, look at the force that he threw in every round. There were some powerful punches there, Robert.
Yeah, his punches were obviously more powerful than Rosado's punches.
Curtis Stevens, he's standing by with Mark.
Curtis, was it the right decision?
That's some bullshit, man. That's some bullshit. They know one. I forgot what round I dropped him in. That's a 10-8 round. So I don't know how it becomes a draw, but I'm saying it's 7 rounds. We could do one more, 8, get this shit over with right now.
Well, he ain't going to do it here. The question is, would you do it again in BKB in the pit?
Oh, no doubt. I love the pit, you know. I believe, I don't know what's going on, but I believe they just want a rematch. It was all good. They could have gave me the belt and declared a rematch. The fight was good, but it was some bullshit, though. Like I said, I dropped in that round, so that was a 10-8 round. I don't know how the 10-8 rounds, a 9, 10, 7 rounds becomes a draw. I think somebody got their math fucked up or somewhere.
All right, the math is the math. You dropped him. He boxed well. You both fought gallantly.
Yeah.
Was it what you expected?
No, it's my first time in the pit. I'm not gonna blame him on the pit, but you know, I was trying to bounce. You know, I was thinking a little too much. I was letting my hands go. You know, when I was coming to him, I should have kept coming to him instead of I was trying to counter punch, catch him over with one of the right hands. But you know, I did what I did. I fought great. The judges cleared the 7-round fight a draw. I don't know where the odd numbers come in.
Maybe we can get that back again. Shane did teach you well, though. You sat down on those body punches. Back to you, Brian.
All right, Mark, thank you very much. Robert, let's put a ball on this one, on this main event. Give me your final thought on what you saw and obviously the judge's decision.
It was a good fight, full of action. My scorecard was 67-65 in favor of Gabriel Rosado. I thought he won most of the rounds by boxing and landing those short combination punches. You can't win a fight by just knocking your opponent in one round. You know, you win the round, but that doesn't mean you won the whole fight. You know, I think Curtis was a little bit, you know, being his first time in the pit was a little bit different for him. So I think if they do the rematch, I think that's going to favor Curtis Stevens.
Yeah, you'd like to see these guys do it
I would
again.
like to see the rematch. Definitely would.
All right. It was certainly an entertaining main event. Let's go back inside the pit now. Here's Mark for your final thoughts. Mark?
Listen, I think that both guys represented themselves well. I thought the difference in the fight was the knockdown. That was really the telling blow to me, the decisive blow to me. But there's one way to resolve this. It's right here, back in the pit, Rosado, Stevens, too. That's what we got, fellas. That's what we should have.